Hello, everyone. I just wanted to welcome you to the Journey Center Conversations. And today is one of our first conversations that we're going to have with Miss Laurie Williams. She is the Women's Director of Heart and Hands of East Texas here at the Journey Center. And I just wanted to have a conversation, let you guys know what's happening here and just a little bit of what God's doing and testimonies and all the fun stuff, because there's a lot of stories to share on a daily basis. But just wanted to invite you into a conversation I'm going to have with Laurie, and I'm just going to ask her some questions, and just thought that you'd be entertained by what goes on here beyond the doors. So, hi, Laurie.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. It's so good to see your face all the time. I love watching you come in. And I think what's really special is like this is our third year in the Journey Center, and
Mhm.
we have never done this before. Isn't that crazy?
I know, right?
So, uh, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and just how you got started with Heart and Hands, and just how Heart and Hands ended up in the Journey Center, and from your perspective, because everybody has their own story that they bring to the table. So I want to hear yours.
Okay. Um, well, I have three grown children and five wonderful grandchildren that are just the heartbeat of my life. Uh, I am a retired educator of 34 years. And as I got ready to wind down my career, uh, Heart and Hands actually just kind of found me. I know it was a God thing because I was kind of wondering, what am I going to do now? My next adventure. So I have been with Heart and Hands going on 4 years now. When we first started out, we were using the Methodist Church youth building. And what Heart and Hands is, I guess I should back up and talk about that. We are a Christian Job Corps site, and we serve men and women by providing job and life and computer skills in a Christ-centered environment. So we walk through our semester, which is going to be 10 weeks this upcoming fall semester rather than 12. And what we do is we just provide them with lots of resources to either go on to school, to take courses, or to enter the workforce. And so there's a lot of behind the scenes with that. It's very rewarding to walk through that with our students. So the setup and takedown at the Methodist Church building, we did it, and it was great. But then this opportunity was just presented to us to have a wing at the Journey Center. And that was the most amazing thing I have ever seen in my life, how God just said, buckle up, kids, I'm on the move, and how the Journey Center just unfolded and just became this wonderful ministry hub and outreach for our community. So Heart and Hands, we have our own wing, and we're just very excited to be a part of the Journey Center and contribute to the community and just walk alongside people and provide resources and just be the hands and feet of Jesus to these
Yeah.
people that come to us.
So tell me about that a little bit. You guys are primarily, focused on education. You've got your classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays during the day, and GED in the evening through a partnership with PAVE. How does being a part of the Journey Center help, you in your ministry to these students?
Well, we have people all the time walk into the Journey Center and they don't realize what all the resources are. So we've had people just walk in and say, what is this? Who are you? We just have been blessed to work with so many wonderful students that come to us, and by word of mouth and just recruitment, we have our students that come in, and we have anywhere from 8 to 15 students each semester that come into our program. And we saw a need at the very beginning because one of the requirements for our program is to either have a high school diploma or a GED or in the process of getting a GED. Well, we noticed that north of Interstate 20, there were no provisions for students to achieve their GED. So we partnered with PAVE out of Tyler and became a satellite school. The GED program, we have also obtained students for the Heart and Hands program and vice versa. We've had students that needed that, and so they also went through our program at the simultaneously working on their GEDs. So it was just a win-win situation for both parties involved.
I love that. I love that they were able to obtain multiple resources and like
Mm-hmm.
you got to be the only person, well, not the only person, but basically one of the main people that they got to see on day and evening through the course of their, you know, pursuits. So that's pretty cool that you've had a huge influence on somebody, like many people's lives through what you're doing.
It
So
has just been.
tell me a story that has impacted you the most out of, your time with Heart and Hands.
Well, there are many. There are many stories and many blessings. I just can't put into words how this program has blessed me just by serving and helping other people. Uh, there's just no other blessing like it when you can see that you are making a difference in the lives of others, and it's all because of the Lord. Um, we had a student that started off in GED class and wanted to know more about Heart and Hands, so joined the Heart and Hands uh, program, went through Heart and Hands, and it was a young man. And I saw this young man just become so vibrant in the Lord and realized that he had leadership skills. He It took him a little while to between working and family and different things that he was going through in his life. He finally achieved his GED. After he went through our program, then he graduated with his GED, and now he's going on to school, and he's just becoming a leader in his family. He has instrumentally gotten his family strong in the Lord, and they're all worshiping together at church. And I'm just seeing great things with this young man,
Hmm,
and it just makes my heart just so happy.
that's awesome. I
So
love
that's
that.
just one of many stories.
Yeah. I know from even just personal connection with you, like there have been times where I've felt like the Lord has just like told us to pray together, or to cover each other in prayer. And I think that even for myself, knowing that I can lean on someone like you who loves the Lord and is doing the work of the ministry, is serving people, out of, the overflow. Like really, like this is not this high paying job. This is not something that is, you know,
Mhm.
going to, do any kind of like build anything here on earth, but I mean just those kingdom blessings that we get to have with one another and share with one another is so much more fulfilling in my mind and my heart, that like rubbing shoulders with people like you just makes this all worth it, And it like I want to come every single day because like I know who I'm going to be surrounded by. I'm going to be surrounded by people who just love people, truly, genuinely, authentically love people. And I think that the Heart and Hands is an overflow of love towards people who are struggling you know, um, in places that they haven't been able to achieve in their education goals. And so, um, give me a format of like how a normal day of class looks like in one of your programs.
Okay. Well, we start every class period every morning with praise and worship. And that's the catalyst for your day.
Mm,
And everything that we do, no matter whether it's computer skills or job skills, if we don't have it lined up with the Lord and we don't start our day that way, it really doesn't matter, you know. So after praise and worship, we have Bible study. Bible study and mentorship are two main pillars of Christian Job Corps. And so we take that very seriously. So we get in and we dive into the Word. After that, we provide a boundaries class because that's just something that we're really not taught, is how to set healthy boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And then we teach computer skills, and we use the Microsoft Office suite, and we teach the main components of that would allow them to go into the workforce and have that experience with those programs. Our lunches are provided each time by community members, church groups, individuals. It's just the outpouring of love from people and volunteers is the heartbeat of our program.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we we have in the afternoon that's our morning. We have our job and life skills that range anywhere from how to solve conflict, um, things that you're going to use in everyday life, uh, interviewing skills, mock interviews and feedback. We have an
Mm-hmm.
employer roundtable where different employers come in from the community and talk to our students about what are they looking for in an employee.
Mm-hmm.
Give them a lot of great feedback that way. Uh, Also work with them on how to create a professional resume so that when they leave us, they have a resume and they have some experience with the interview process. We also provide next steps. We are partnered with Tyler Junior College and Jarvis Christian University, the Texas Workforce. We have so many wonderful resources that we are partnered with. So when they leave us, they just have a plethora of resources that they can make decisions. Okay, where do I go from now? What do I do now?
Yeah.
And I think one of the most rewarding things to me is when our former students come back and share their successes with us, or they're still contacting us for assistance and things. And you know, we just love them so much, so we never really wanted to let them go. So
Yeah.
we are still reaching out and continuing to help them in many ways, from providing food or money. Or we also had a single mom that was trying to get through Heart and Hands and just make her life better, and she didn't have a vehicle, and so through a volunteer we were able to provide her a vehicle. And we just have so many wonderful stories like that. All of our teachers that come in and teach our classes are volunteers from the community in different realms of employment and expertise that they come and share with our students and pour into our students. And they realize how blessed they are in return for that.
Mm-hmm.
So we just keep loving our students even when they're not with us anymore.
Yeah, you bring up a good topic of discussion here when it comes to collaboration. So tell me how the community can be involved in Heart and Hands. You know, they may not be able to be there Tuesdays and Thursdays. So how would somebody in the community want to be a part of Heart and Hands and bless these students?
Well, if they were unable to maybe volunteer their time to come and teach, or we're always looking for mentors for our students, just to walk through the program with them as a prayer partner and just someone that they can talk to and trust and just develop a friendship with. We also have a boutique and outfitters that we provide for our students. So we are always looking for donations for casual professional type dress, so that our students can dress for success when they go to their mock interviews. And then once they leave us, they have a few, outfits that they can take with them. So we're always looking for clothing donations. if there is anyone out there that would like to provide us a meal, our students, really appreciate that. So does the staff that, their lunch is provided, and just come and eat lunch, with our students and just try to be a part that way. There's always the monetary part of people that don't have the time, but they have the resources that they could donate. We also take donations for maybe used laptops that could be refurbished for our students, because our students not only at Heart and Hands use the computers for our program, but we also have the GED students that use computers, and some of them don't have computers to work on their assignments at home. So they have to rely on just class time or the Lindell Library that has their computers available. So those are just some of the ways that that people could contribute or volunteer if they're interested, or just come talk to us and see our facility and just talk to us about how they could fit in and or possibly volunteer and serve.
Yeah. So tell me how much these students pay to go through these programs.
Um, it's a 10-week program, and they're committed for those 10 weeks, and it's only a $30 one-time registration fee. The rest of it, we furnish all of their books, their notes, their journals. They don't have to furnish anything. And mainly the $30 registration fee is maybe, like for buy-in, so that it kind of helps with that commitment that they're going to make to finish the program. So that's all it costs them. It's just that one-time $30 registration fee.
Yeah. For 10 weeks,
But they
that's so
leave with a lot
amazing.
more.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the reason why you guys exist is because of the generosity of people, and you're able to provide these full 10 weeks for these students, and the registration fee, like you said, is the buy-in. It's not necessarily what covers the cost of all of the supplies, all the people that are involved, all the lunches, even just your space that you rent here at the Journey Center, you
Mhm.
know, because of the generosity of people, and people buying into helping, like this all gets to happen because there is people that love people. And I love that. I,
Right.
I love that we get to be a conduit of people's generosity. We get to take people's donations, people's finances, and really get to do what we love to do, which is minister and build people up, equip them with things that they didn't have beforehand. I think that's so cool and so neat.
Yes, I love that, and I see it every day. And of course, we partner with other ministries that are within the Journey Center. We're so blessed to have our counselors, and
Mhm,
they have so willingly come to different sessions and shared their expertise. And
mhm,
then we've had students that actually, because of that, they have gone and uh, had some counseling sessions and have gained great value from their expertise in their areas.
mhm,
We've also sent students for the resources, for the grief counseling in Trotter House and Bethesda Clinic. And
mhm.
it's amazing how we're just all in it together to
Yeah.
serve people and to help people. And our students are just so amazed at the resources that are right there at their fingertips
Mhm.
uh, for them.
Yeah, this
And it's
building is
just a
full. Yeah, this building is full of people like you, Lori, that are doing the work and that are loving people. And I couldn't thank you enough for what you do, for the sacrifices that you've made, and for the time that you've spent, day and night on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and probably more that I don't even know about. Um, giving of yourself. So I wanted to thank you so much for your part in this, um, and your sacrifice. And Yeah, I
Well,
can't
I
thank
just
you enough.
really appreciate that, and I just appreciate you and all you do for the Journey Center, and I just it means the world to me to work in the environment that I work in with the people that I work with, and the prayer support. And you mentioned earlier having each other's back, and you can kind of you get used to who you work with, and you kind of read people, and so it's like we need to pray. We need to stop and pray. We got things to talk to the Lord about here. Um,
Yeah.
but it just brings me great joy, and I've never experienced anything quite like this in my entire life. And so I feel very blessed to be a part of what goes on at Heart and Hands and also through the Journey Center.
Mm, thank you, Laurie. Well, I'm going to end my time here. There, we could talk for hours. I know we could talk
I
for
know.
hours, but I know somebody's not going to listen to us for hours. I'm gonna stop here and just say, through the generosity of people, like I said, we're able to provide spaces to ministries like Heart and Hands at a reduced rate, so they can offer their services either free or low cost. And so, because of the Journey Center's existence and what God has done here, you know, anybody who gives to the Journey Center is giving to all these amazing resources to be here and present
Yeah.
for people that are in need. And so the need for the Journey Center is great because we want to be able to provide these spaces for things like this to happen. And so I think that's part of like why I want to do these videos, is because I want people to understand the why
Hmm.
and who and what we're doing. And I'm trying to eliminate some of the myths that people have, like this is just for poor people, or this is just for I've heard of people say that that's a halfway house. No, we're no longer a nursing home. We're not a halfway house. We're not just for poor people. We're not just one church, even. Like there are multiple churches involved. People go to
Hmm.
different churches in this building. This is not just one ministry, it's multiple ministries doing the work, being the hands and feet of Jesus. And I love that piece. And I think that it's so beautiful to be a part of. And we ask that you be a part of it with us, pray, for us, because we need prayer every day.
Yeah.
But we need your support. And so, hopefully we'll get to share more and more stories as the days come. And Laura gets to be our guinea pig and be our first. So just wanted to invite you along on this journey and invite you to be a part. So thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, any comments, and you want to know more information, you want to schedule a tour, please feel free to call us, and we'll get back to you, and we will schedule it away and talk to you for as long as you need to understand what's going on here. So thank you for joining us.